Hello, it's me, Alex. Thanks for tuning in on yet another Sunday, or if this is later, thanks for tuning in whenever you're tuning in. And also, I just should mention that not only are we doing a Facebook Live today here on Sunday with our folks here on Facebook, but we'll simulcast, but not really simulcast. In other words, what I'll do is I'll take the same audio. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm taking the same audio like I did with the last one, and I'm putting it on the podcast. That way, if you don't have time to watch this, you can listen to it in the car or at the gym or going to sleep at night so you can have bad dreams, that kind of thing. Hello, welcome to the Facebook Live for the cover reveal for Pilate's Ghost, and also welcome to Mysterious Goings On. I'm your host, Alex. Okay, I promised to keep this one to 15 minutes. And that's really an admonition to myself because I like to talk to you guys, and I love it when people are interested in what's going on with the writing. So you're here for a couple of reasons, but I want to get to some housekeeping things first of all, and particularly if you're a podcast listener to Mysterious Goings On. Let me go here and switch to that. Okay, thank you, Groucho. Totally right. Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx, thank you, sir. Showing a screenshot here of the Mysterious Goings On podcast. We are making a lot of efforts this year, our 10th anniversary year for the John Pilate Mysteries, to keep things consistent, and I'll have a lot more editions of this and bring back some guests you had in the past, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, as well as some new folks we're talking to. But I just want to encourage you to go to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, look for Mysterious Goings On, and subscribe. Just hit the button. It's free. And please rate and review if you could, please. This podcast started out as a new and noteworthy. iTunes had a lot of hope for it, but, whether it's probably my content wasn't consistent enough, etc., we kind of dropped off, and we didn't get a lot of followers like we'd like, or a lot of downloads, at least, like we'd like. So the more reviews we get, the more they'll promote us, and the more we can see more out of Mysterious Goings On. That said, about getting new folks involved, I'd like to talk to you about WhatPods. WhatPods.com is a new platform where you can go and rate, with just a click, you can go and rate the podcast you like. And it helps you find podcasts a lot easier than iTunes. I really am impressed with these folks. I've talked to Tom, who runs WhatPods, and I'm really impressed with his idea and what he's doing next. So I've claimed, and it should be up there. Whoa, it went away. I've claimed on WhatPods.com. See there? WhatPods.com. I've claimed the Mysterious Goings On cast, and I've been talking to Tom, who's the guy who started this, and this is a great way. You see here, you can go in here. I don't have anybody who so far kind of liked my podcast, but if you go there, it'd be really great. I'm in the process now of telling you, please don't forget to endorse the episode on WhatPods. So if you're listening on the podcast in particular, WhatPods, WHATPODS.com. Go on there and search for Mysterious Goings On and give me an endorsement. Just click the button that says you like the show. And it'll help you find some other shows too. It's no big deal. I hope you'll think about doing that. It'd be a big help to me as we try to increase our readership. That's a huge thing for us right now. All right, moving on from the housekeeping. You may recall, to get you up to date, that I have retained brilliant cover artist Jason McIntyre, also very good, very, very good author of some really great stuff, and I think he's got some stuff in the pipeline that you're going to love. But he wrote the Dovetail Cove series, which you should really look up. It's fantastic. Jason is doing a new series of covers. Now, I'm not going to repeat myself. I've done the past couple of times about why I did this. If you're interested in learning why I'm doing new covers and what the whole motivation was, just go to the previous episodes of the podcast or go look on the John Pilate Mysteries Facebook page and go watch the other ones, and I'll explain the rationale about why we're doing that. Long story short, more cohesive, 10th anniversary of the series. I want something more commercial. I want to sell some damn books this year, frankly, and this is the way to do it, I think. He's got a fantastic vision. So here he did Pilate's Cross, and incidentally, he did Big Cabin, which is the book I did with my late grandfather. It just came out last year around Christmas. He did a fantastic design for that as well. So he does really great work. So Big Cabin, it's available exclusively at Amazon.com, paperback and Kindle. And then you saw he did Cross. He did the audiobook version of Pilate's Cross as well. This is our first book in the Pilate series. And then you may recall, this is our previous, well, it's a tiny little guy there, but that's our previous Pilate's Key cover from back in the day. And he redid that with this cheeky little number. And yeah, I'm getting a little ribbing about that. But folks, this is pretty tame compared to a lot of the covers you see. And so far, nobody's really been offended by it. And I would just point you to the nearest romance cover if you are. Some people thought it was a little cheeky, and it is. But you know what? It got people's attention, and sales are moving up. So I'm happy with that. So today we're talking about Pilate's Ghost, book 3 in the series. This one is so near and dear to me. I mentioned this in the last episode about how it was a Kickstarter-funded project back when it was really expensive. I didn't have Amazon to help me back then. I worked with another publisher to get this book out. And so what I did was I did a Kickstarter to raise the money to put the book out and throw a few bucks at my artist, my cover artist, and to also have some nice treats for people. And there's some people who donated a great amount and got names of characters in the book and that kind of thing. Anyway, this is a favorite book for a lot of people and a favorite cover for at least a couple people I know. And what's really interesting about this one, I think, is that it's a really good cover. And none of these covers that were done previously, in my opinion, were bad or anything like that. It's just they don't have the cohesiveness of this is a series. But if you look at this, there's some really nice, elegant things that the artist did here that I really love, and I always will. But times change. Books, especially back catalog books, fall off the sales charts, and people lose interest. And frankly, if you look at this thing as about the size of a postage stamp on a monitor when you're shopping on Amazon, you're just not going to understand what that is. So, drum roll please, Jason has come up with something great. No, that's not it. No, he came up with, not Groucho Marx, but not that either. This one. Pilate's Ghost. Book 3, the John Pilate Mystery Series. Now, take it in. What you're seeing here, and what really captivated me, is you're basically, this is a book about Pilate being chased by a very bad guy, and I mean a bad guy, and a guy who scares Pilate, and a guy who has nothing to lose, and basically Jason's concept was of just this very dangerous, evil, scary guy in a dark alley waiting for you, blocking your way. And I thought that was an excellent metaphor for the book. I think it's captivating. It's in line with what we're doing with the series covers, and I just thought I think it's excellent work, and I hope you'll like it too. And if if you love some of these older covers, that's fantastic. Keep those, and they'll still be there for you. But if you want to be a completist and get this cover, that's great too. There's a little bit of updating in the text here and there. But basically, you've got the book if you've already owned it. But if you're a completist or you want these new things, and I think these will look beautiful and they look great on the shelf, go for it. That's the thing I would say about these books is that they grow a little bit. They're organic. And I don't anticipate the series changing much as far as the back catalog going forward, but I thought this would be just something you would really like to see, and I'm just greatly impressed with this. And by the way, if you're listening on the podcast at this time, I'm including this. There's at least a link to it in the show notes. You can find it, or go look on Amazon.com for Pilate's Ghost. I just spoke with Amazon recently about the changeover. The old books are still going to be available, the old styles, for a little bit longer. Amazon has nothing to do with that. There are other sellers who will sell them, but they have delinked the old link, and they've put the Kindle version and this version together. As of today, as I checked, they're both together now, which is great. There's no audiobook for this one. Those are some things I get questions about every now and then. That's a lot of intensive work on the part of a producer and engineer and the reader, and it's so much work. And frankly, the first book we did the audiobook for, Pilate's Cross, sells all right, but it's still, wow. It's just, we'd have to really be in bestseller territory before we're going to consider that. But anyway, gorgeous cover from Jason. I'm so thrilled. And for sticking around this long, I got a little bonus for you. We didn't do a full-fledged, and by the way, the interior is different too. Jason redid the interior of the book, which you can look when you buy it. But Jason also did the initial book cover for Pilate 7, and he did a really nice job, but we both agreed that it could probably, let me see here, here's the old version of 7, I believe. Yeah, hang on a second. Let me turn off this one for a moment. I'm getting better at this, I promise. Okay, this is similar treatment to what he did for Pilate 7 here. It's not quite the actual cover, but it gives you the idea of the font and everything. And we both agreed he could use just a little brightening up, a little refresh. So Jason just took it upon himself to do that and came up with this lovely guy here.